Folks, and welcome to another edition of Mansfield Town News and Views. Plenty to discuss tonight, as always. We're going to be talking about the Exeter City game and the game that we won last Friday even, and one of the best matches I think of all season, in my opinion. It was a fantastic game to watch. You know, it was two sides really going for it. Amazing advert for League Two. And also, we're going to be looking ahead to the Tranmere Rovers game this Friday against another promotion rival. And also, I'm going to be discussing about some interviews that I've got lined up as well. So, as always, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's start off talking about the Exeter City game. Just before I get into it, I just want to say the game as a whole was just an amazing game to watch. You know, both sides well organised. You know, there was hard to break down, and again, they really did give us a run for our money at times. And you can see why they're a team that's up there or thereabouts. You know, and credit the boys once again. You know, Nathan Bishop and Darren Rawson again, just absolutely solid, as was the whole defence. And again, it's another test that we passed. You know, beating against a side that's in and around us in the playoffs and in automatic spots, and it's such an important victory. You know, I mean, I know every game's important that we're going into at this stage of the season, but when you can beat a team that's in and around you, then it just makes that even more of a really good result, really. But yeah, guys, anyway, let us know your thoughts on the Exeter City game, what your impressions are on it, and what you made of it overall. But yeah, like I say, you know, we knew it was going to be a tough game. Like I say, they're a good side, Exeter, one of the best sides I think we've seen at Field Mill this season, in my opinion. Really organised side. And once again, you know, we've just kept that unbeaten run going, you know, that never say die attitude. And again, you know, this team, again, just never fails to impress. The work rate, the quality on show, you know, it was just a really good team performance, to be honest. You know, it's really hard to pick a single player out of that match, really. You know, they all played well. And, you know, Nathan Bishop, again, like he has done for much of this season, he's really stepped up and pulled off some fantastic saves. He really has saved us this season, Nathan Bishop. And, you know, the saves he pulled off against Exeter last Friday even, it was just quality. You know, he's just an absolute quality keeper. And, you know, I don't think I'm wrong in saying this, although someone might disagree with me on this, but in my opinion, Nathan Bishop, you know, I think he's been the best keeper we've had in years, to be fair. I think, you know, for his age, as a young up-and-coming keeper, you know, and again, he's saved us so much this season. You know, so plaudits to him. I think the only disappointing thing about the Exeter game was we wasn't able to keep a clean sheet. But look, you know, I'm not going to criticise Bishop or anyone for that, because at the end of the day, you know, it's one of them. We won the game. That's what matters. We got the 3 points. And again, I can't find anything critical to say about the Exeter game. You know, again, we did everything right, to be fair. But yeah, just a really good team performance overall. And again, it was a big test, but it was one in which we passed with flying colours. So credit to the players for that. Let's have a look at some of your comments, guys. Good evening, Timmy. Played well against Exeter. I think bare knuckle Jim will struggle to walk straight back into the side. I love that nickname. It's great. Rawson playing really well at the moment. Yeah, absolutely, Tim. And the thing is, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know, I was having a conversation about this with my dad actually yesterday, funnily enough. And, you know, it's one of them. You don't change it. Just keep him in the side. If the player's playing well, like Rawson is doing, then keep him in there, because obviously unless he's injured or got a knock, then yeah, fair enough. But I'd keep this same team against Tranmere, to be fair. I wouldn't change a thing, you know, unless obviously injuries. But yeah, I don't think Nigel will. I think he'll keep it more of the same because it's a winning formula. Rawson's done well since he's come in. And again, the same for Ollie Hawkins. Ollie Hawkins will find it hard to get back in the side, you know, as well as what John O'Toole and Ollie Hawkins have done. You know, they're both going to find it hard to get back into the team, and quite rightfully so, because Rawson's been doing well there. Hewitt again has been one of our most improved players in my opinion, along with McLaughlin back there, and even Akins. Akins had a really good game last week for me. Lucas Akins at fullback. I wasn't really sure what to think about Lucas Akins playing at fullback, but you know what? I was proved wrong by it because I thought he had such a great game at fullback, Lucas Akins. I thought he looked really comfortable up that there, and again, he didn't put a foot wrong. I mean, obviously, you want to see Lucas Akins up front, getting the goals, but he can also play back as fullback. So, again, he's a good option back there. But yeah, I'd keep it the same, Tim. I wouldn't change it. Like I always say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So, yeah, John O'Toole, same with Ollie Hawkins, has got to work their way back into the team. So, yeah, keep Rawson on the side. He's been an absolute rock since he's been back there. Same with the other defence as well. So, yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Right. Evening, Michael. You okay? Yeah, good, thanks, mate. Yourself? I went to game Friday night under the lights. Biggest attendance of the season. Still in playoffs, but tough game at Tranmere on Friday. Come on, you Stags, promotion operation. Yeah, absolutely. Obviously some of the results last night, obviously went against us, with Sutton winning the other day, and obviously Exeter winning. But, it's one of them, Michael. We've just got to focus on ourselves. Obviously, we can't really be worrying too much about what other teams are doing because we've still got a couple of games in hand, and we've just got to make sure that we can capitalise on that, really. We've got to just do our business and let everything else take care of itself. But yeah, look, we're still in an amazing position in the league. Obviously, we're still in the mix. So it's one of them. We're still marching on, and the promotion chase is still on. It's very much alive. And again, if we can capitalise on the games in hand, then we'll definitely be up there. But yeah, still in a great position. Fantastic home attendance, like you say, the biggest of the season on a Friday night, which is amazing. It really is. And hopefully may that continue. Let's hope the attendances stay up there or thereabouts or even higher as the season progresses. So yeah, brilliant stuff under the lights. You can't beat it, mate. You really can't. All right, let's have a look. Evening, Paul. Rawson is a workhorse. Yeah, he is, Paul. He's solid. He really is. He was another player that didn't start the season off great. Same with Hewitt. But you know what? Credit to them. They've really stepped up to the mark, especially Rawson. He really has. He's been an absolute rock there past few games. And, he's been absolutely awesome back there, and same with Hewitt, like I mentioned there, and obviously McLaughlin as well. They've just been quality. So yeah, like I say, I'll just keep him in the side. Like I said earlier on to Tim's comment, I wouldn't change anything if I'm honest with you going into Tranmere's game. Obviously John O'Toole's still got a 1 game ban, obviously for the red card at Newport, so he'd still be out anyway. We've got Ollie Hawkins available, but even then I wouldn't put him back in there because why would you? Why would you change your defence when they've been doing well? So I think they've just got to work for the place, mate. It's as simple as that, But yeah, he is. Like you say, he's an absolute workhorse, and he's been awesome since he's been back in the side, and fair play to him for that. Really is. Paul again. They seem more than what they said the official attendance was. It did sound like it, didn't it? The attendance was amazing. It was over 6,000. Just to get that at League Two level is amazing in itself, really. And obviously the fans are recognising that. The town of Mansfield and the surrounding areas are recognising that we're a team on the up, and it's great support. And let's hope it stays like that for the rest of the season, or even gets higher in that respect. Because again, the team's going to need all the support they're going to get, home and away. Although saying that, the support has always been there. It's just obviously the results early in the season obviously wasn't nowhere near to where we wanted it to be. But obviously now that we've obviously been on this unbeaten run, and in an amazing position in the league, and the fans are recognising that. So, but yeah, it was a fantastic atmosphere. Credit to the 300 odd fans from Exeter travelling down on a Friday night as well. That was a long trip up as well. So credit to them Exeter fans that travelled on a Friday night, and as well for their team. But yeah, it was an amazing atmosphere under the lights, and thankfully on the night we got the result, and just absolutely quality. Brilliant. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Paul again. Also a big shout out to both fans last Friday with the minute's applause for those people in the Ukraine. Let's keep it going. Yeah, 100%. Just agree with everything you say there, Paul. Obviously, with what's happening over there, it's just saddening to hear really that there's that's going off as we speak, and the thoughts to the people that have lost loved ones and currently are still going through a lot there, and hopefully things do improve, obviously sooner rather than later. But yeah, obviously the thoughts around the world, obviously with the people of Ukraine, and it was amazing the referee stopping the game in the 13th minute so both teams could applaud. It was a fantastic moment in football, because at the end of the day there's more to life than football. You're talking life and death, that's more important than any sport. And the referee on the night wasn't the best. I think to put it lightly, he was terrible. But I think the one thing that the referee did well was stop the game, and just put it into perspective. It was a great moment in football, and it was great. And long may that continue. But yeah, hopefully things do improve for Ukraine pretty time soon. Hopefully, absolutely. Get on some of your comments as well. Right. Danny, I agree with the comments made this week about Bishop. I think he's been drive of the defences this season. Wish we could keep him. Yeah, 100%. Again, like I said earlier on when I started the podcast, and I've said before in the past to people, I don't think it's a stretch to say this, but without a doubt, he's been the best keeper we've had since we've been back in the Football League. He really has, and that's no disrespect to any other keepers beforehand, but you can tell the quality his quality is way above League Two, and it's just amazing that Nigel could get a player from any Premiership team, never let alone Man United, to come down to League Two. In itself is amazing, and obviously he's come here and he's hardly put a foot wrong. He hasn't made many mistakes at all. If anything, he's kept us in it, and without his saves, we wouldn't be where we are in the league. So you've only got to look at the Exeter game last week. The saves he pulled off, 2 in quick succession, from close range. And it's one of them. He's been one of the players of the season for me, because, like you say, he's been a drive force for the defence as well as he's just been overall quality. So yeah. But like I said as well, I think it was last week, or it might have been the week before, to Ryan, who comments, if we do get promoted, then you'd like to think he'll come back on loan in League One, but I think it'll all depend on where we are next season, really, realistically, because say if we're still in League Two, and touch wood, we're not, but if we are, you'll never see him playing League Two again. So I think this is the only time you'll see him in League Two, Nathan Bishop, because he's way above League Two level. He really is. But yeah, if we get promoted for this season into League One, then we've got every chance of getting him, because I'm sure Man United want to see him play at a high level, and hopefully that will be with us next season in League One, hopefully. But yeah, he's just top quality. I can't praise the guy enough, really. He's just a top keeper, and obviously the defence has changed a lot, obviously through injuries and suspensions. He's had a lot of defensive partners in front of him, but he's been consistent throughout that, really. And yeah, he's just, I can't praise the guy enough, to be honest. He's just a top quality keeper who we're extremely lucky to have at the club. We really are. Elliot Hewitt said he was the best keeper that he's played with, and he's played with Mikowen, I think his name is, at Grimsby, who was a quality keeper in himself for this lower league level, and that just speaks volumes for Elliot Hewitt to come and say that, and I'm sure the rest of the defence think the same. But yeah, absolutely. Ashley, evening mark, mate. Big game Friday, buddy. I know each game is big, but I feel this one is well up there for sure. Lots of away games coming up now, as you know. Yeah, absolutely, Ash. And like we always know, every game at this stage of the season's a big game. You know, not just Tranmere or Exeter. Every game is. It doesn't matter if it's who it is, where we're playing them. Every game's tough. And you know, without sounding cliche here, but it's like every game now is kind of like a cup final. You know what I mean? If you're not playing well, don't lose the game. Try and get a point. You know what I mean? And obviously, if you can't draw, win it if you can, preferably. But yeah, like I say, Tranmere, they've had a bit of a slope. Tranmere, the past couple of results haven't gone their way. They've dropped a couple of points in the past couple of games. But again, they're still a force to be reckoned with. They're another side like Exeter. On the day, there can be a tough side. Mickey Mellon has been there and done that with Tranmere, knows what it takes to get promoted from this league. They've got Kane Emmons up front, who we know all about and what he can do. So they know, even though they have been on a bit of a slump, Tranmere, I think it's a great time to play them. But make no mistake about it, it's going to be a tough game. But yeah, like you say, we're going to be back with a great support like we have been for much of this season, but even more so now. We've also sold out the first allocation as well to Tranmere as well away, so it's going to be a massive support up there, should I say, to Tranmere on a Friday night, and yeah, just looking forward to it. Every game that comes around, you just look forward to because going into any game, we've always got a chance. Make no mistake about it, it's a tough game. Obviously, it's a massive one against a side that's in and around you, but if we can play to the best of our abilities and let them worry about us, then I'm confident we'll come out of the game with something. But yeah, we've got to be on our guard with it, obviously, to if we want to get something out of the game. But yeah, really looking forward to it though. Really looking forward to that one. So yeah, like I say, Tranmere on Friday. Like I mentioned there briefly, a side that's in and around us in the league, but it's one of them. We've just got to, go there. We're full of confidence, and they're obviously their last couple of results haven't gone down great, but again, they'll want to put that right eventually, and they'll want to, turn that bad run of form around at some point, and hopefully it's not against us, but we've just got to be aware of their threats. But if anything, we've just got to make sure that we can obviously play to the best of our abilities like we do, and we'll be sound. I mean, if you look at the League Two table now, I'm just looking at it in sixth position. We've only played 32 games, and we're on 56 points, and Tranmere, they're just below us, and they played 35 games. So we've already played 3 games in hand over them, and they've got, obviously they're on the same points as what we are. But say if we can win on Friday night, then we're back in third. So we've still got the advantage of a couple of games in hand over them as well. So it's in our hands, really. To be fair, it really is. We've just got to capitalise on these games in hand. Yeah, they're going to be tough, but every game's tough, though. Especially when it's teams in and around you. But same as what I say, if you want to be getting promotion, you've got to be beating the sides around you. And so far, we've not done too bad. We beat Exeter last week, but we've got to try and follow that up this week against Tranmere. But yeah, like I say, they haven't won in quite a few games now. They haven't lost. They've lost in the last 5 games. They've lost 2, drawn 1, and lost 2. So they've lost 4 and drawn 1, basically, Tranmere. So they're not in the best run of form. So you could argue and say it's probably the best time to play on, Tranmere, because obviously they'll be low on confidence, and we're obviously the complete opposite. So let's hope we can just take that to our advantage, and if we can score first, then hopefully that will set the tone for the game, and we can go on and get the 3 points. But League Two is a complete funny league, as we know, so we'll wait to see on that one. But yeah, you can argue and say it's a good time to play Exeter Tranmere. Sorry. let's have a look at your comments. Evening, Chris. Yeah, great. Thanks, mate. Thanks for the support as always. Appreciate that, mate. And same for you, mate. Good win for you versus Exeter. Yeah, it was. It was. You know, like I say, similar to Tranmere, a team that's in and around us. And to be honest with you, I don't know if any of you guys agree as well. You know, and if you do, feel free to put in the comments below. But I thought from all the teams we've seen this season at home, Exeter was without a doubt the best team I think we've faced this season, in my opinion. You know, again, very organised, played really good football, and to be honest, it was a first win against Exeter at home for years. I can't remember the exact year now because I know I'll get this wrong, but it's been a while since we beat Exeter at home, so it was nice to really, you know, get that monkey off our back, really, to be honest, because they've always been a tough side. Every time we played Exeter over the years, it doesn't matter where we've been in the league, they've always been a tough side to play against. But, you know, the players, like they have done for much of this season, they stood up to the challenge and, you know, we found a way to win. And it was a hard game. They made us work for Exeter. You know, obviously they're like us. They're going in for promotion, and you know you can see why they're up there. Really good side, and again, they're going to be definitely battling alongside us come end of the season. 100% Exeter. They're a really good side, and yeah, you can definitely see them challenging come end of the season. 100%. I don't think there's any doubt about that. You know. Chris, was a statement win for you against a team also battling for promotion? Yeah, that's right. You know, and this is it. You know, if you want to get promoted, you've got to try and beat the sides around you. You know, it's simple as that, really. You know, and obviously against Exeter, we did that. You know, we came through that, and you know, we did what was required, and we got the 3 points. You know, so massive win, but. You know, there's so many games left to be played yet where we've still got to try and maintain that, and that's the biggest thing, really. We've just got to, you know, not let it get to our head too much and just try and carry on doing what we've been doing. You know, we've had this unbeaten run going on now for a while. I think it's 14 unbeaten now, if I'm not mistaken. And again, we don't look like we're going to be beat anytime soon. You know, we really don't. We just look a side that's, you know, never gives up, never say die attitude, and again we've just got all the qualities of a promotion winning side. Like I say, we've got a couple of games in hand over some of the teams above us. You know, like I say, we've got 2 games in hand over some of the teams and 3 over some others. So we've the ball's definitely in our court, really. So if we can win them remaining games like over, you know, in hand, then you know, it will look really good for us come end of the season. But we've just got to try and focus on ourselves. And like I say to people, don't really worry too much about what anyone else is doing. We've just got to win our games in hand and games coming up. You know what I mean? That's all we've got to try and do. But very, very tough fixtures we've got coming up, though. Make no mistake about it. And we've got a lot of away ones as well. So, you know, it's just... We've had so many away games recently. It's just how it's fallen the fixture list. It's been quite insane, really. But you know, it's one of them. You've just got to get through it. You know, you've got to play them at some point. Teams, obviously, so you've just got to get on with it. But yeah, Tranmere this Friday. Looking forward to it. It's going to be another big test for us. But it's one in which we're going into full of confidence. And again, I'm just like everyone else, just really looking forward to it. So yeah. We really can't wait for that one. Chris, I'm good, thanks. I'm happy Carlisle found 3 wins in a row now for us. Only just got my voice back after our late winner at Oldham in final kick of the game. And we now need 6 points above relegation zone. Yeah, I mean, obviously since I think is it Paul Simpson his name at Carlisle? Since he's come in, he's turned your club around, really, to be honest. And that's what it needs in football, you know, just a change in management and change of direction, and hey ho, you get the results, you know. And obviously, the same when Nigel came in for us, you know, last season, you know, team low on confidence, you know, just above the drop zone, and you know, we had the similar effect, you know. At one stage last season, we ended up winning 5 in a row under Nigel, you know. So, you know, it's one of them with. It sounds like he's having a similar impact for you guys, and. You know, it's one of them. Obviously, he's doing something right, and if you carry on, I still think you'd be more than safe. I still think Carlisle will be more than safe because I think there are worse teams than them, to be honest. I think Scunthorpe are doomed. I don't see any way back for them personally. And Colchester's down there as well. They look a bit, they're slipping a bit, but who knows? Who knows? But I think you guys will be safe. You'd be hoping for Carlisle win at weekend when we face Northampton at home. Yes, absolutely. Let's hope Carlisle. Like I said to you last week, Chris, if we can beat teams near the bottom like Oldham and Colchester or just any team near the bottom for you guys, trying to return the favour for Mansfield, by if not beating Northampton, then getting a point, because it's still a point for you guys at the end of the day. So, let's hope we can both do that for each other, and then we'll be great. We'll be the best of friends. But yeah, it's this season's been insane for us because we started off the season quite well, and then obviously we dipped, went 14 games, I believe, without a win, and now you look at us in a great position. But that's football for you, and same for you guys. Obviously under Keith Millen and David Oldsworth, obviously things just wasn't working out for whatever reason, and since you get Paul Simpson in as manager, you win 3 games in a row, and you're looking ever closer to safety, so it seems like we're both picked up in one respect or another, to be honest. So it's just great time for both sets of fans, really, to be fair. Obviously more so was we're getting in it closer to the promotion spot, but at least it's good for you guys in one respect, because you've got someone there that obviously is doing something right at the club, and who knows where it can take you, mate. So yeah, you'll be fine. I think Carlisle will be more than fine, to be fair. I don't think you'll be in the drop zone at the end of the season. Excuse me. Yeah, also as well, I've got a couple of ex-player interviews that I've been in talks with for weeks now, and I've not really been able to reveal it just in case it wasn't going to happen or not. But I've got Bobby Hassel coming up as well in the next couple of weeks. He's someone that I've been trying to get on for a while, to be fair. But yeah, Bobby Hassel is someone that I'll be going to be interviewing as well. Really looking forward to that. So if you've got any questions for the former fullback, then I'll definitely be sure to ask. But yeah, Bobby Hassel is someone that I'll be interviewing the next week or so. Also, Mickey Baldwin. Mickey Baldwin is someone that I'm going to be talking to as well. And as I say, guys, if you've got any questions for these ex-players, what I'll do is I'll put a post up on the page, and in the comments you can just ask what question you want to ask the players, and then obviously I'll ask them, and then I'll put the stream up. So yeah, like I say, got some really good content for you coming in the next few weeks, guys, and long may that continue, really, to be honest. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Got some really good plans for the page going forward. Excuse me. Evening, Paul. Every game to the running is now a cup final mark. Yeah, 100%, Paul. That's the way they've got to be, the players, and I'm sure Nigel's saying something to that as a similar effect. And this is the stage of the season now where one slip up can really cost you now. And yeah, I'm not saying we're going to win every game now until the end of the season, because it's going to be a big ask. But I think if we can keep this unbeaten run going for as long as what we can, then we've got every chance. Like I said earlier and last week, we've got 3 games in hand over the teams above us, or some of the teams above us. So essentially, it's in our hands to mess it up. Really, I think if we can carry on the way that we're going, and picking up a point here and 3 points there, then they all add up at the end of the day, and this is the thing, we've just got to keep that going up, that consistency going, really. But yeah, we've got all the ingredients for a promotion winning side. We've got a really good mixture of experience in there, youth players, we've just got such a great mixture of players. I mean, you look at the bench, for example. I mean, you've got players like Ollie Clark there, Danny Johnson, James Perch, Kieran Wallace, George Morris, players that can come on and change the game. So even if things aren't working on the pitch, John Joe O'Toole when he comes back, and Ollie Hawkins, and yeah, that's what I mean. The strength and depth of the squad at this stage of the season is going to be massive for us, because no doubt we'll get more injuries and suspension, until the end of the season. But you look at the players that we've got there that can come on and do a job. It's just amazing. It really is. And like I say, we've got all the makings of definitely a promotion winning side. We've just got to, again, like I keep drilling this in really, but just try and keep this unbeaten run going. And again, we've just got to focus on ourselves and let other teams worry about us really. Of course, as fans, you often do look at other results around you, which you're going to do because naturally you do that. Because I'm the same. I can't help myself, and after a game, I'm looking at what the other teams have done, and you kind of open they're going to drop points. But I've never known a League Two promotion chase as quite intense as this really, because there's so many teams that can really get promoted, because there's so many teams up there and thereabouts that can challenge it, and it's going to be such an interesting run to the end of the season. It really is. You've got Forest Green, although they're still at the top, they haven't won in a few games. Tranmere, they've dropped off. They haven't won in 6 games, I think it is. I think the last win they had. And it's one of them. We've definitely got a massive chance. We really have. And like I say, if we can win our games in hand, or at least 2 of them, and get a draw in the other one, then sky's the limit, But again, we've just got to do our job, and hopefully come end of the season it'll have been enough really. But end of the day, all we can do is take each game as it comes, focus on one game at a time, look at Tranmere, focus on that, and then obviously go on and focus on Port Vale afterwards, and that, so we've just got to take it game by game approach. We can't look too far ahead into it, as well as what we are doing. We've just got to take that approach really, and obviously not get too carried away. But like I say, you can't help but get excited with how we've been doing this season. It's just amazing. It's just the best time to be a Mansfield Town fan, and since obviously we came close to Flitcroft. But let's hope this time we can obviously go that one step further and get it come end of the season. But yeah, we're in such a amazing place, But make no mistake about it, every game's tough, and it won't get any tougher than Tranmere overs at this Friday night. I keep wanting to say weekend, and it's Friday night, but it's Friday night, yeah. It's Friday night at Tranmere, so get ready for that. Also, if you can't make the game to Tranmere, you can always watch it on iFollow. It's £10. So if you can't make it to Tranmere, then you can watch it on iFollow for £10. So sort that out, guys, if you haven't already. But yeah, iFollow is going to be shown on there for £10. So looking forward to watching that. Let's have a look. Right, let's get down to the comments. Right. Chris, we're definitely up for Northampton game. We'll be having a fully packed crowd in our positivity we got recently, so who knows, we may get a result at all pressure on Northampton going into the game. Well, it is really, to be honest, because not to say it's not a big pressure for you guys, because you've still got to ensure your safety. Obviously, Carlisle has still got to obviously get a result. So I suppose it's same for both sides. Obviously, if you guys being at home and having a big crowd's obviously going to help you guys being the home side. But obviously, Northampton, they've picked up on a couple of results. Obviously, at this moment in time, they're second on 60 points, played 35, but they're another team who've still got 3 games in hand with at this moment in time. So again, they've obviously they've had a couple of good results recently. But yeah, the pressure will be on them as well to try and get a result against you guys. Obviously teams that are obviously in the top 3 or thereabouts are always going to be favourites. But again, football doesn't always work like that, especially in League Two. So if Carlisle can get a good result against Northampton, then it's only good for us, and let's hope you guys do. But you've won 3 games in a row, so you're going to be full of confidence going into it, really. So I wouldn't bet against Carlisle in the front of form. I mean, if you carry that form on, obviously we've got you guys next month, I believe. So again, when we face you guys, that'll be a tough game, because teams at the bottom are always our games. Teams, because obviously teams are fighting, so it's going to be tough. Obviously, when we come up against you guys as well, because like I say, teams at the bottom, like Oldham and your Scunthorpe, they're always tough games. You can even argue and say games against the lower teams at the bottom are harder than facing against the top sides, because they're fighting. to stay up. So they're never easy games. So, but then again, it's just the beauty of League Two. You just never know how it's going to go. But yeah, it's definitely going to be keeping our eyes on that result. Obviously, when it comes along. All right, just reading out some of your comments. Paul, hope Rawson keeps his place. He's been immense these last few games. Yeah, he deserves to be, Paul, because, again, like you say, since he's been in the side, he's been a rock, and I know obviously we've got Ollie Hawkins available and we'll have John O'Toole available after Tranmere, but like I say, I sound like a broken record. I really do, but if it's not broke, guys, don't fix it. He's been doing so well since he's been in the side, so keep it the same. Obviously, if he's injured and stuff, you'd obviously have to be forced to make any change, but keep it the same. Keep it the same. Absolutely, keep it the same. We've obviously since he's been in the side, we've won the last couple of games, should I say? And let's keep it like that. And he deserves to stay in the side for me. It'd be criminal if he did take him out of the club, the team, because he'd be asking the big question as to why. So hopefully Nigel will recognise that and keep him in there. To be fair, because I think he's got to. If anyone's playing well on the side, keep him there. You got to. For me, you've got to keep him in the side. Chris, Tranmere 0, Mansfield 2, my prediction. Hopefully it will be, Chris. Hopefully, again, as long as we get the 3 points, I'll take anything, even a scruffy 1-0 win. A win's a win, isn't it, really? But like I say, Tranmere, they'll want to end their unbeaten. Their beaten run they've been on. They haven't won in a few games. I think it's 6 or 7 games. I think Tranmere last won. I think. So again, they haven't won in a while, and they'll want to eventually end that beaten run. So they'll definitely be up for it, Tranmere, especially being at home as well. Although saying that though, so will we, and we're the informed team going into it. So we're going in there full of confidence, and I think personally it's a good time to play them. If they're in such a bad run of form, and let's hope we can capitalise on that. Really, let's hope we can. So Luke, Paul, I think it will be tough at Tranmere. They played well against Northampton and were unlucky not to get a point. Well, that's what I mean, Paul. And as we know, any team, should I say, around where you are, it's always going to be a tough game. We saw that against Exeter, Newport. They're always going to be tough games. Sutton, when we played them a few months ago, and look how well they're doing. They're always going to be tough games, regardless if you're at home or away. But yeah, they did narrowly missed out on a point, which would have been a good result, 3-3, to be fair. It'd have been a good result for us if obviously if it went like that. But, Northampton on the day were did enough to get the 3 points. But yeah, so they're no pushovers. And it's one of them, you look at the league table and it don't lie. They're up there for a reason, because obviously they've done well for large parts of this season. It's only the past few games where they've dipped in that, but it's one of them. Eventually, the beating run's going to come to an end. Let's just hope it's not against us, really. So we've just got to be on our guard and, again, just try and just get through that challenge like we did against Exeter. But yeah, they'll want to, end their beating run though at some point. They will, and it's another big test for us. But we're going to be backed by a big support away from home. And the fans will definitely be there in the numbers. So let's hope the players can get behind that and get the 3 points, or at least a point. I mean, a point wouldn't be a bad result personally, but obviously you want to be going for 3 points at this stage of the season. But we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, tough game. Very, very another tough game. But they're all tough. But this one especially is always a tough one though. To be quite honest, but yeah, it's, and also Kane Emmons as well. Like Paul just mentioned there, he's, we know what he's capable of doing. Kane Emmons on his day, as well as Nigel. And that's what I mean. He's a player that you don't want to be giving him chances, because again, we know what he's capable of doing. So they have got good players there that can hurt you, and Mickey Mellon. Obviously, he's got experience at this level of getting Tranmere promoted as well, so he'll know. He knows this league quite a lot, same like Nigel. So, no doubt he'll definitely want to change the results for them. Danny, busy period till the end of the season. Yeah, it is. It's insane when you look at the games that we've got coming up. It's obviously got a couple of Friday night games that we've got to play still. Obviously, then the Saturday Tuesday game. So it's going to be manic, and this is where strength in depth comes into play. With the squad. So every player at some point is going to get a chance, and this is the beautiful thing about it, because you look at the players that we've got on the bench, like I say, Ollie Clark, George Morris, Danny Johnson, Kieran Wallace, who can do a job. Players of that quality can do a really good job there, and it's one of them. We've got so many options there for players to make the difference. So, it's great to have game changers there. And again, we just need to just carry on what we've been doing, really. Obviously taking our chances when they come to us, being solid as what we have been in the defence. And again, we've just got to maintain that unbeaten run as long as what we possibly can, really. And again, this is another big test for us, but like I say, if you want to get promoted, these are the tests you've got to get through, But again, let's just we'll see how it goes as we do, and hopefully it'll be enough against them, Chris, we are a couple of more wins away from guaranteed safety for me. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's one of them. You don't want to be leaving it to the wire, do you, until the end of the season, where you're having to rely on teams, like we've done in the past. You obviously want to make sure you're safe. You want to do your own bit. You want to focus on your team, getting the results. It's the same for us. We're in the same position. Obviously, different ends of this, complete opposite ends of the table. But again, it's the same for us. We've just got to focus on ourselves. You can't really worry about what anyone's doing. I mean, of course, as fans, you're naturally going to look at the results and teams around you to see what they're going to do, obviously. But, as long as you take care of yourself, then everything else will take care of itself, So basically, you've got to focus on your team getting the results, and everything else will take care of itself, And it's obviously the same for you guys, is, if you can carry on this run that you've got going, then you'll be more than guaranteed safety. And hopefully the same for us. If we can carry this unbeaten run on, then that hopefully will be enough for us to get promoted come end of the season. But this is League Two, and it's as we know, it's not an easy league. So we'll see how that pans out. But no, it can't be any more pride than the boys. They've really turned not only have they turned the corner, but they've also showed great resilience and determination. They don't know when they've been beat. They keep going into the final whistle, and just the great marks of a team that you really want to get behind. You know what I mean? And you've seen that in the attendances. Over 6,000 Mansfield fans against Exeter, the biggest attendance of the season so far, and hopefully it'll be more come end of the season, really, because people are recognising that now, that we're a force. This season they're recognising that we're going places, and hopefully that it will be enough, obviously, to see us, obviously go that extra step further come end of the season. But again, just take it game by game. That's what we're going to keep doing now at the same time. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Right. Sunday league teams can even be tough games. I mean, I suppose it depends on what the state of the pitch is like, and the opponents. But yeah, that's what I mean, though. But especially in League Two, because that's what makes it such a good League Two. Even if you're like a neutral football fan and you look at it, because there's so many teams that can go get promoted, be in the playoffs, and obviously you're looking at the opposite who can go down, But for me personally, right, this is why I prefer lower league football than Premiership football, because you don't get that same excitement for me. Because in lower league football, you've got so many teams fighting for stuff, whether it's staying up in the league, going for the playoffs, promotion, automatics. Whereas a Premiership, you haven't got any of that. The only thing you've really got is teams fighting to stay up, or the top four, or that's it, essentially, because that's all it is. Whereas lower league, for me, it's so much more exciting. It's proper football for me. I mean, the game against Exeter that we played last Friday was one of the best games I've seen in League Two this season. It was absolutely phenomenal. It really was. Both sides going at it. Both teams obviously up there. going for the promotion, obviously going for promotion, really going for it. Too good football inside. It was a brilliant game. It really was. It was honestly, it was a fantastic game of football from both sides. And luckily for us, we came out on top. But it was a brilliant advert for League Two against Exeter. It was fantastic. And I know not every League Two game is like that. You do come across sides that will play dirty and scruffy because it's League Two. Not everyone's going to be a good football inside, and that's no knock on teams. It's just they're not. But what you've got to do is you've just got to try and play to your strengths rather than go down to their level, in my opinion. And that's the way forward, in my opinion. I mean, I'm no coach or whatever, but I mean that's the way I'd kind of approach it. Just play to your strengths and let anyone worry about you, and you know what I mean. And that's how I kind of approach it. But yeah, that's just me. Let's have a look. Some of your comments, guys. Paul, also Mark. Hemmings will be up front for them, and you know what that could mean. Lol. Yeah, like we said earlier on, Paul. We know what Kane Hemmings is about. I wouldn't have minded re-signing him at the time, a couple of seasons ago, because he was a good player for us. I felt on loan. He did score quite a few goals for us, and at the time, I really did wish we did sign Kane Hemmings at the time. But obviously, he did opt to go to Notts County for more funds, and well, that didn't really work out for him. Obviously, with how they ended their season, But yeah, it's one of them. It's football. It's just things are meant to be and others aren't. But I didn't think Kane Hemmings did bad for us on loan. To be fair, I thought he did quite all right in my opinion. He was all right. He did score some goals for us, and again, like you say, he's one of the many threats we've got to look out for against Tranmere because we know what he's about. And I don't want to tempt fate. Touch wood, he doesn't. But we've always got a habit of former players scoring against us, and by God, I hope he doesn't add to that because. It'd only be our luck, won't it? But as long as we can just try and stay solid as possible, then and obviously Bishop can just carry on being the way that he is, then we should be okay, really. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's get down some of your comments, guys. It's weird because even though I'm reading the comments on the computer, I've got my phone on here as well because it tells me who's written down the comment. You see, and it doesn't always tell me like who it is that's commented. That's why I'm looking over at my phone, sort of thing. It's weird. It's a weird setup I've got here, but hey, it works, Right, let's have a look. Paul, evening. There's a load of Pauls tonight, Paul Garrington, evening, Paul. Hi Mark, hope we take the 3 points Friday, lads. Are playing extremely well. Hopefully we can get in that top three or even better top. We just need to keep getting behind Nigel Clough and the lads every game, home or away. Let's keep filling one call every game. Come on, News Tags. That's got to be the comment of the night, or one of them at least. Absolutely bang on with that. Absolutely bang on. What a brilliant comment. I can't. Just phenomenal. And that's what we've got to do. Just get behind the lads like we've been doing, for all season. And again, having the players perform the way that they have been doing. And definitely, I can't, I just completely echo that comment. I really do. I completely echo that 100%. I really do. Like I say, if we do win against Tranmere, then we will be third with a couple of games in hand over the teams above us as well. And in around us, so it's in our hands, to be fair, Paul. So we've just got to take advantage of that and make the most of it, essentially. But yeah, 100%. And like you say there at the end, keep filling the one call, Field Mill. Let's hope we can keep doing that as well. Let's keep this attendance going up. Obviously, it's only took until last Friday for the attendance to be as high as it has been against Exeter, and let's hope it gets higher. Absolutely, let's hope it just get as high as it has been, because the more support is better for the team. Elliot Hewitt said it in his press conference yesterday. Just having that support home and away, it can only benefit the team. So let's hope we can keep the fans can keep that up, and yeah, it can only benefit the team going forward. It's as simple as that. But yeah, let's hope we can do that. Poor guy, Mark, how do you feel the new guards are doing, i.e. Longstaff, Wallace, Akins, Murphy, etc.? I'll talk about them individually, to be fair, Paul. Longstaff, he's done well. Obviously he's only been here, obviously in a short space of time, like the other players that you mentioned there. But in his last two games, two goals, obviously against Bradford and Exeter, took both of them well. The first goal against Bradford was probably one of the most scruffiest goals you'll see, but who cares? It went in the back of the net. It was still a goal. They all count. And the goal against Exeter was just brilliant ball from McLaughlin. An edge of the D, unmarked, bang, quality finish. You knew as soon as it come to him, he just felt confident it would be in the back of the net, and it was a brilliant finish, composed finish as well, all done low, keeper no chance. So yeah, I've been impressed with Longstaff. He gets himself about. He's a workhorse in midfield. And yeah, been impressed with him. Been impressed with Longstaff. We know the quality that he's got as well. Like we said when we signed him on loan in January, how the hell we brought a player of that calibre to League Two is amazing in itself. It's only because of David Sharp, knowing his agent out there while he was away, that he came to the club. But yeah, he's been phenomenal on stuff so far. He's been real quality. He has. Kieran Wallace, he's done well. I mean, I know he's come off the bench a lot, Wallace, so he's not started a game, so he's only played on the bench, come off the bench, should I say. But he's done all right. He's a versatile player. And yeah, he's done well so far. He's done quite well since he's been in there, and he gives us another option there. So yeah, it's doing so far, so good. Lucas Akins, he's a bit of a... See, I think he started off a bit slow, in my opinion. I think the first couple of games, I think Lucas started a bit slow. Like, you can tell he's not played much football in the past month or so. Obviously, he had that injury at Burton. So, he was a bit slow and a bit fatigued, as you could tell. But past couple of games, I think he's been phenomenal at left-back. I think he's been great. Obviously, I know we've signed him as a striker, but, he is very versatile as well. So he can play at full-back as well as obviously up front as well as on the wing. But yeah, he's done well back there. But ideally, you want to see him up top. Same with Ollie Hawkins. You want to see any player in their natural position. Now, he has done well at full-back. I'm not discrediting that because he's been great. I think it's fair to say when he played against Exeter, that was the best game. Personally, I saw Lucas Akins play against Exeter. It was great. He didn't put a foot wrong. He was really calm. He composed. He tracked back well. He got forward well. He did his job really well back there. And I've been really impressed with him. And it's unfortunate that he hasn't scored yet, but there's still plenty of time for him to do that. But yeah, he's a good player to have because he's versatile. So if we've got injuries back there, he can fill in, no problem. But yeah, hopefully we do see him be back up front as soon as we can. But yeah, it's been great. And Jamie Murphy, he's someone that I think he's massively improved things on that on the wing. I think some of the balls that you've seen him play in the middle has been great. His quality overall has been outstanding for me. He's really impressed me, Jamie Murphy. It's like he's slotted in so well. Like, since he's been put in the team, it's like he's been playing there all season. It's like he just slotted in perfectly. I think again he's someone that's not played much football this season in Scotland, and he's come here and he's done well. I've been impressed with some of the performances by Jamie Murphy. I think he's done really well there, and again he's someone that I think not only does he have the experience, but he offers us something different. And I've been impressed with Jamie Murphy. I think out of them all, I think for me the standout would either be Murphy or Longstaff for me. But then again, it's one of them. They've all been quality. The players that he's brought in have improved us. That's the beautiful thing about it in the transfer window. The players that we've brought in have improved us. That's the most important thing, because obviously when it comes to any transfer window, you obviously want to make sure that the players you're bringing in are better than what you've got. And in my opinion, they've definitely improved us. And that's not a discredit to any players at all. But they've also added that added quality. So, and again, it's just great recruitment from Nigel. The recruitment this season has been absolutely bang on. He's really done such a great job at the players that he's brought in, Nigel. He really has. And I know it's took a while for the team to gel, like it does for most teams that's put together. But yeah, I've been impressed with them. I really have been. Obviously, I know they've only been here a couple of months. the players that we've just mentioned there, but they really all slotted into it really well. I think it suits their style of play, and yeah, they're just gelling into the team really well. So yeah, I think they've been great, to be honest with you. I've been really impressed with them. And again, there's so many players there as well that we haven't seen much of at all, whether like due to injury or suspension. I mean, Danny Johnson, for example, is another player that we've not seen much of at all this season. I mean, we saw him at the start of the season, and obviously the first game against Bristol, the last minute he got that penalty, and he got the hat-trick against Newcastle under 23s in the Pizza Trophy. But he's another player that he's still got goals in him, and I do feel for him. I do feel for Danny Johnson because we know what he can do as well. But when you've got a player like Reece Oates in front of you, banging in goals most weeks and performing the way that he is doing, it's going to be hard to shift him, and it's one of them. It's just testament to the strength and depth we've got with this squad. Each player in each position are fighting for each other, and I can't remember the last time we had that in Mansfield. Where each position that we've had quality all over the pitch. It's definitely one of the most strongest squads that we've had in recent seasons. It's what I mean. You can just look at it all over the pitch. We're just every area we're just covered with quality all over the pitch. I mean, like I say, Johnson, he scored the other day against Wigan. I think it was Wigan reserves, I believe. Not Wigan, Leeds, sorry, Wigan. He scored against Leeds under 21s as well in the reserves in that game. So again, he's not someone that can still make an impact as well. And James Perch is there as well. So we've got so many good options there. But yeah, overall, like I keep saying every week, we're just looking in a good position, aren't we? We're just in such a strong position. Not just with the games in hand, but just with how we're playing. We don't look like losing, and again, he's just quality. You just can't, can't really, just can't knock anything, can you? It's just a quality team that we've got, and they really are playing for the shirt, and we've been crying out for that for so long at Mansfield, and the players are really buying into that, and that full credit goes to Nigel and obviously the Radfords for supporting Nigel Farati as well as David Sharp and giving him the chance to be able to turn things around. Just phenomenal stuff. And if anyone deserves promotion, it's the Radfords. Absolutely, 110%. The Radfords deserve this really so much because the amount of investment they put into this club over the years, and it's one of them. They should have been rewarded so much more for the commitment to this football club on and off the pitch, and they really do deserve this, the Radfords. They really do, and hopefully come end of the season they do get that. I really hope they do get that. Paul Johnson, not really been in the mix, has he? That said, Oates is on fire, and I think when Hawkins comes back he should go up front with JJ and Mawson as centre-backs. I think it's one of them. He's definitely another option, isn't it? Hawkins. We brought. It's a bit like Akins, isn't it? We brought him in to be a striker, but he's playing fullback. You know what I mean? And again, it's no knock on him. It's just I know he's had to because of injuries and suspensions. Again, Hawkins has been great in defence. He has done a really good job back there, to be fair. But again, you want your players in your natural position. You know what I mean? You want them in their natural position. Now, I understand why he's not. But again, he's another option up there, to bring on. So he could potentially do that, Nigel. I wouldn't discredit him doing that because even when he was in defence, there was games where Nigel did push him up front. So I wouldn't rule that out. And again, when JJ's available, he could easily slot in with Ralston as well. So it does give Nigel that option, and he might do that, Paul. I would not rule it out at all that he could still do that. He really could. But again, another great option, when JJ just come back, But yeah, like I say about Johnson, just briefly there, do feel for him, but like I said, when Reece Oates has been in the form that he has been, he ain't going to come out of the team. He's been on fire, simple as that. And when someone's playing as well as that he has been doing, you keep him in the side, Paul Ryman, Radford's Diamonds, Mark, what would we do without them? I dread to think, Paul, I don't even think we'd be in a football club. I don't even think none of this would be happening without them. Simple as that. We we either won't be a club, or if there was, it would be non-league somewhere. You just dread to think, to be fair. But yeah, they just quality. Just give them the key to Mansfield for me. Just what they've done for this football club and the town in general, trying to bring the supporters back into the community. It's just, you know what I mean. You don't get many owners like that in football. At any level, in my opinion. And they really do deserve it. They really do deserve success, and hopefully they get rewarded by that this. At the coming end of the season. Just the last topic I want to talk to you guys briefly about as well. I want your thoughts on this as well, just to give your impressions on it. And this will be the last point tonight, because I've been going on over an hour now. But yeah, I just want to talk briefly about the match day programmes, because it's one of them. I know not everybody that goes to a football match buys match day programmes because they just don't bother to, and what have you. But there are people like myself that do like to collect football programmes, and there's been a lot of debate on whether or not for the club to keep selling programmes or to not bother at all. So I just want your guys' thoughts on it, really, because it has split opinion where you get some fans, like I say, that will go to the match and get a programme to collect, like myself, or you'll get other fans that won't bother. But to me personally, I think a part of the football experience, home or away, programmes have always been, tradition in football for me. So it would really feel weird without having match day programmes, in my opinion. I just thought to bring it up, really, because there's been a lot of talk about the club not being able to, whether or not to do the programmes or not in the near future. But personally speaking, I think it's one of them. I think it's a big match day experience for people to get a programme and, not just to collect, but just to read through and stuff. So, me personally, I do hope they keep that going, because it's, it's things you can look back on in years to come, and, you remember the good and bad times, because like I say, I've got a box full of programmes. I've got a load of boxfuls, they're absolutely loads, and I'm sure people on here have got twice as much as what I have, depending on how long they've been going, But me personally, I do hope the club keep the programmes going, to be honest. But who knows what can happen there. But yeah, I just wanted your thoughts on that just before I went off the podcast, because it's just a very interesting topic, really, to be honest. The one thing I will say, and I don't want to criticise the club too much on the club programme, because I think it's great content the club put in the programme. But I will say this. And again, this is no knock on anyone on the matchday programmes now this season, because everyone that contributes does a really good job. But the one thing that I will say, I did prefer the matchday programmes a couple of seasons ago, where we had a lot more content in it. Like we had more pages to read through. I did prefer the old setup, a couple of seasons ago, to be fair. So, but I think that's the only thing I would criticise with the club with. Like, I wish the programmes could be have more pages and more content in it, really. That's the only critique I would say. But hopefully they do keep that going. But it's just an interesting one, because it's obviously quite a mix of supporters, where some fans won't bother to buy a programme and others will, But, I just thought to give that a quick mention, guys. But I personally would love to see them still being sold, because, well, to me anyway, it's just part of the experience, something that it's great to have a read through and have a look back on, but yeah. Alright, let's read a couple of comments before I come off tonight. Paul Garrington, new signings have been very strong. Yes, do agree, Mark, about Atkins, but he's now starting to get into his stride. Would like to see Hawkins, Akins up front. Oh, that'd be a great one, wouldn't it? And Oates for me this season is give 100% every game, never stops running, puts pressure on players and keepers. Hopefully this is now our time to get promoted with this amazing squad. And yes, John Radford and Carolyn Radford do deserve to see promotion for keeping this club alive through this tough 2 years. Yeah, I mean, just starting at the beginning there, obviously we mentioned about Akins again. It's like some players, they can slot in like that, whereas other players, it can take a bit of time. And you've seen that. I mean, look at Rhys Oates when he started the season. He started off a bit slow, and look at him now. He's unstoppable. So, and it's one of them that you can just, like you say, you just summed it up there really with Lucas Akins. He's coming into his stride. He's looking strong, and it does take players a few weeks to get into it, but you can see that he's improving as he goes along. But yeah, see him up front, same with Ollie Hawkins. You want to see him up there if possible, because we've got Rawson back there in defence. We've got Hewitt, if need be, in centre half, JJ. So we're more than covered in defence, really. So yeah, just definitely getting back up front if possible, and again, Nigel has shown that he will do that, so I wouldn't rule it out, But yeah, Reece Oates, once again, just a complete workhorse, chases things down, he never gives up. He's a defender's worst nightmare for the size, the strength, and he's just phenomenal. He really is. He's just absolutely quality, and, it's just so much, what more can you say than him, other than that he's just an ideal player to have for a team that's going for promotion. Really, he's been one of the driving forces of the team so far this season. Excuse me. And yeah, the Radfords again, just like we say when we talk about them, they're just they're fantastic. And let's hope they do get rewarded that come end of the season. Really, let's hope so. Our last comment of tonight, Paul Guy, my grandson buys it every game, so yes, let's hope they keep printing them. Yeah, 100%. And it's open for debate. Like I say, I've had some people say to me and they're not bothered, others that say they are. So it's just a difference of split opinion, really, to be fair. But I just like to get people's thoughts on things, really. But yeah, it's an interesting one personally. But yeah, personally, I'd like to see it keep on doing at the club, if that's what they're hopefully going to be doing. But I guess only time will tell, on whether or not that will change or not. But anyway, I can't believe I've gone on for over an hour here. Damn. Wow. Yeah, once again, guys, thanks for this continued support. I really do appreciate this. People taking the time out of their evening to come and watch me rant on about Mansfield, and I must drive some people mad sometimes because I never stop talking about Stag, and some of you may think, wow, how could he just talk so long? And the thing is, I'm passionate. I love this club. This club, like everybody, we're all connected. We're all part of it. Kind of like a religion, football. We're all in the same bubble, if you like, and it's one of them. I love doing this. I love having my say, and obviously letting you guys have your opinions on things as well, on everything MTFC. And like I said earlier on, guys, for those of you that's just tuning into the podcast or tuning into it late, I've got some ex-player interviews that I've got coming up. If you haven't seen it, check out the interview I did with Tony Lowmore last week as well. That's on the page as well. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. Really great guy. Talked about obviously his time at Mansfield, among other things. A great guy. Brilliant to talk about his time. And also we've got Mickey Bolden coming up soon in the next week or so, and then Bobby Assault is another player that I've got lined up as well. So keep your eyes on the page, because there's a lot of ex-players coming on the page in the upcoming weeks and months. So yeah, keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on everything that's going off in that. So yeah, Paul Guy, been a great show, Mark. Loved it. I wish I could tune in every week, but work gets in the way. Look, listen, no worries, Paul. Like I said to a chap earlier, you can always watch this back whenever. Like I said, it's always on here. Just anytime, mate. You can always watch it back whenever. Like, I just appreciate any support. Anyone just tuning in. Even if it's just for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and people just go off. It's just. I just appreciate any support, because I do it for you guys. I do it for everyone else watching, I really do. And again, it's not about me, it's about you guys. You guys are the stars of the show. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for people supporting me on the page, whether that be podcasts, blogs, interviews, polls now and again, whatever. It's for you. This show is for you guys. I'm no different to any of you guys. Stag's fan, no different to anybody else. And like I say, guys, if anyone wants to come on the podcast, feel free to DM me, and we can get something sorted, and you can come on and have your say. And thank you, Paul. Again, anyway, I've kept you long enough now, guys, and I must be driving you mad now. But yeah, again, if you're not doing anything now, be sure to check Mansfield Matters out as well. They're another podcast as well, which I'm sure you're aware of. Talk about everything in MTFC, and again, it's one of them guys again, same as like myself, give me talk about obviously everything MTFC. Very passionate Stags fan. So be sure to check them out now, which I believe they're live now, if I'm not mistaken. I think Cam put a post up earlier on as well. So check them out. And like I say, have your say on there, which I'm sure you guys already know. But yeah, support them guys as well. Because at the end of the day, we're all Stags, and let's do this. Thanks again for the support, guys. Really appreciate that. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and let's hope we have a good Friday. And speak soon. Thank you. Take care.